Hi, I'm Sir Bernard Moore, and this is the Sir Bernard Moore Show. This week I'll be exploring a place that I've begrudgingly tolerated, slowly gotten used to, and nowadays come to call home. Yes. That place is the small village of Hobsick, nestled in a sort of a kind of a valley between another valley which nestles between the market town of Towley, and to the west the other one. It's another town that we try and avoid as much as possible, called Up a Girl's Bottom, and if you keep going you'll find yourself in soft Shighton. I was born in Cairo in 1942. As you can probably imagine, the world back then was a very different place. Then, as a child, I grew up in Snain, which isn't on maps anymore because of reasons officially attributed to things I'm not allowed to speak of. Then in the late 1960s, Mum and Dad found true happiness. They got divorced and Pops moved into an apartment in Towley, taking me with him. It didn't last. What does last? Note. Pops was evicted and aged 30 years, 3 months, 3 days, 3 hours, 3 minutes, 3 secs approx. I went to live with Mother, who, aged 76, had come into a substantial sum of money. Quite a few £billion, in fact. I haven't actually ever questioned Mum properly regarding the origins of her fortune, but amateur sleuth that I am, I've discovered that she probably encountered aliens, may have learnt the secrets, definitely sold the secrets to the US military, and gets paid on commission for every new idea that pops onto the market that has its origins in extraterrestrial technologies, like oven gloves and books on tape. Mum purchased House Home Hall, a really big, oh so old-fashioned, sprawling property that was built in the late 1950s by cardboard box tycoon Carl Boardbox. The nearest village was, it still is, Hobsick, a mere 2 minutes flaunce through picturesque meadows dotted with massive patches of nettles and the occasional burnt-out mirk with a dead Cockney gangster rotting quietly in the boot. Nowadays, I think of Hobsick as home. Home. Yes, home. And that raises a question. Does a place make the people, or do people make the place? That's a good question. People, place, people. You know, I thought about it for a full hour and 90 minutes approx, and nearly decided that it was definitely the people that make the place, only to change my mind, just like that for no reason, and started thinking it was the other way round. It was really weird because it was as if neither statement were true, but in a way both of them weren't not true neither. I could feel myself starting to cry. It was hopeless. It was the hardest question ever. Someone must know the answer. Then it hit me. Well, a piece of hot smoky metal hit me in the face, and an idea came to me at nearly the same time. I'll ask Mum.
So, deine Mutter ist auf dem Campey gegangen.
Feeling dank. So she is on the gantry, overseeing the precarious rejigging of a great big massive space probe by the looks of it, Mother.
Right!
Mother!
You're swizzling it, you clumsy git. Stop swizzling it. Hold it steady, that's it, steady. Hey, you! Put that bag out. You're not queuing for schnook at the British restaurant. This is highly flammable, is this? Can't you read, Werner? Rauchen verboten, dear.
Mom!
Bernard James, why aren't you at school?
I don't go anymore. I'm 50.
Then we must find you a vocation. How would you like to be the first man on the moon?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to say.
You've gone very red, Bernard James. There's really no need to be embarrassed about going to the moon. There won't be any girls there. It's mainly dust
I'm not...
cheese.
I'm not embarrassed, Mother. I'm covered in blood. My head's split open and bleeding. It won't stop.
What you doing with them Thyratrons, Andrew? They ain't 3 bob a dozen, you know.
Mum, this hit me on the head.
Ooh, kiss here.
What is it? Is it important?
No anymore, it ain't, me dear. It's the gimbal off the gyroscope. And look at that, it's bent, look. The impact with your noggin's gone and thrown it right out of kilter.
Mother, I was...
Rex, you half-wit, the gimbal's gone skew with on Bernard James's bonds, look.
Mother, I wanted to...
I was wondering where that had gone.
Mum!
Eh?
Do you think a place makes the people?
Try me to get it in the vice. What do you think it is, a god bloody mate?
Or do the people make the place?
Rex, you will have to get on the blower to Angela at NASA and order a fresh one, and don't mangle your metric with your Imperial. I don't want to be up a ruddy ladder on that launch pad at 2 in the morning next Friday in the freezing bunker underneath Robinson with a biscuit tin on a string of cross with any witness and a lump hammer.
Mum, do you think a place makes the people?
Hey, your head's bleeding. First aid there. Don't worry about it, kid. It won't be permanent. Damn it, Martin! This is compressed air! Screw around with these things, they're going to blow up!
I don't think it was that my presence in the secret underground spacecraft hangar was unwanted. And I'm sure I wasn't a hindrance to Mum and Werner and Rex and Andrew. But it was super obvious they were busy.
We move it out tonight! And I mean tonight!
The space race is a race, after all. And I know the North Americans have been on the moon, and for a lot of people that means the race is over. But if we looked at everything in life like that, then the Premier League would have finished as soon as Brian Deane got one past Schmeichel in the 5th minute at Bramall Lane, August 15th, 1992. That'd have been it. Chef U 1, Man U 0. That weren't it though, were it? Just as football ain't about one goal, the space race doesn't have to be about one race. They didn't stop playing, tell everybody to go home, because Brian Deane scored a penno in the 50th minute, which is my favourite minute in any hour. And even though Man United scored as well, it was 2-1 in the end to Sheffield United, and that's only the start of the Premier League. And space is, if you think about it, it is even bigger than the Premier League in some ways, and nearly as mysterious as well. And whilst we're on the subject of mysteries, Hobsick, it was still bothering me. Had it made me who I am? Or had I, whom I was and still am, have made it what it was and is still? Shoot, I couldn't even ask a question, let alone answer it. I needed to speak to somebody who'd listen, somebody who cared, somebody who wasn't preoccupied nailing the wing mirrors on a space rocket. If Mother felt I mithered, perhaps with Father I'd get further. Pops was never too busy. Yes, it's great that I've now got the independence to use the phone unsupervised.
Hello?
Hey, Pops! Quick question about Hobsick.
Who the fuck's this?
I'm Bernard,
Who the fuck do you want?
Are you my daddy?
Am I your fucking what?
You don't sound like my Pops.
Are you inquiring about the room?
No. No, I don't think so. I'd like to speak to my Pops. Is he there, please?
Pops? I don't know no fucking Pops. I think you've got some serious fucking discrepancies within your telephone directory, Doug.
Joe.
Joe?
Joe Moore.
Why the fuck didn't you say that to begin with, you thick cunt? Are you fucking pissed or something?
No, a hot piece of gyroscope hit me in the face.
Right. I'm sorry to hear that. Bastards, them gyroscopes, mate. Sorry. Joe! Fucking move, you fat-eyed Larsa prig! Some wet fucker wants to buy some weed off you.
No, I don't want to buy any weed. I just
How
want...
the fuck should I know? Tell him four. Other side of canal, maybe. Or I'll cave your fucking face in with your new rounders bat. James. Is that you, James?
Hey, Pops! Who was that?
Listen to me, James. Listen very carefully. Your Pops needs your help in a special way today. Only you can do this thing for me, and I know you will. You'll help me, won't you, James?
Who was that man?
It's fine. He's a really good friend. A really good friend of somebody who doesn't like me very much, and it's fine. There's no reason to even consider beginning a process of what could be termed worry or worrying. In any sense, I'm not in trouble. But there's potentially a horizon of problems around the corner, so to speak.
Why is he in your flat?
Because of the now, of the whole encapsulating timing of the very precise meaning of how things are and must be. And
Pops, are you okay?
huh?
Are you okay?
Okay, right now? Yes, right now. I tell myself, Joseph, you are a well man, and your life has meaning, and your future is a near tangible likelihood within your grasp. Because your son loves you, don't you, James? And he'll never see his Pops go down. He'll see the sky freeze over and the wind turn to ashes, and the sun will go swimming in the black lake of despair, but Bonner James will never let his Pops down. This, James, I hold in my heart like electricity, but it's all paid for.
Where is this going?
James, I need $4,000.
Oh,
Okay?
I guess. Why?
Because that guy you were talking to,
Before? Who is he?
he's a spy for a foreign country, and he's stolen some super secret papers. And I need to Romeo them and get them to the Prime Minister by 7:30 at the latest.
Wow. Wow, I'm sorry. I bet that's secret information as well. Sorry, Pops.
Yeah, it's vital. And I mean, it's vital you tell no one. James, do you think you can get me the $4,000? I need it now, or I'll miss my coach.
Yeah, £4,000. Okay, I suppose a check's no good.
A check is no good, James.
No, cash then.
In a gateway bag, double-bagged, wrapped up in something inconspicuous like a Dalton's Weekly.
I'll bring it you now, Pops.
Go over the walkway, over the bypass by the canal, and leave it behind the bin where the fence is all overgrown with brambles, James. 10s and 20s, no 50s.
Can't I bring it to you at your flat?
I can't see you, James. I've got a really achy neck from doing mixed martial arts and loads of roneoing. Just leave the bag behind the bin, and that will be truly magnificent.
Okay, but later in the week when you're back from London, maybe we could go for pizzas and you can take me swimming.
Don't hang around after you've left the bag. Just leave the bag and go. No 50s, remember?
I'd love to ask you about the village and growing up, me and you and those old times and what Hobsick means to you and it's like...
Yeah, you need to hurry with that $4,000, James. Seriously now, I'm going to get in the biggest trouble with the mayor.
I thought it was the Prime Minister.
Yeah, they both need a copy each. It's crazy. It's one of them days. I really need you to do this for me, James. Get going, okay, you know?
Yeah, okay, bye.
Get off the phone. Great stuff. Gotta go.
Bye, Pops. Love you forever. Miss you too. Bye. 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 Pops is Pops. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. Except Mum, unfortunately. I did as he said, and just hoped that he'd get those super-secret Roneoed documents to London in time. I waited for ages on the footbridge overlooking the bypass to see if his coach might go past. I think it did, but I'm not sure. Hobsick. Had it inspired Mum to go exploring out there in outer space? Had it somehow set Pops on the mysterious path of international espionage? Has it made me who I was? Had it made me me? Had it made me whom I am, I mean? Imagine you were born in the United North American States of the US, grew up in London, England, had a successful acting career on the TV, and could choose to pick anywhere in the world to live in, pretty much. Why choose to pick, of all the places to choose to pick from, why decide to choose to pick Hobsick? I guess I'll have to find a Hobsick resident who fulfills all them criterias and ask them. Impossible. There is no such resident, I hear you say. Implausible, but yep, there is. Believe it or not, my uncle Elliot Francois Campey, was born on Manhattan Island in 1968, the youngest child of Eunice and Pete Campey, and the youngest sibling of my mother, Crispine, and the middle one who we don't see, Jan. Eunice, a cor anglais and oboe teacher to the sons, daughters, and anything in between of the stars, and Pete, who mainly stood looking out of windows, dribbling, and growing his hair really long. Eunice was studious, hard-working, determined, and may even be single-handedly responsible for the absurd oboe overload we see nowadays in Hollywood movies, where they try to add pathos to sickly tales of paunchy single dads down on their luck, or a teen who falls in love with a computer. Soon after Elliot reached toddlerdom, the family moved to London City, where fate played its fortuitous five-fingered fist of fortune. A casting agent spotted Elliot on a train platform talking to a banana in a really convincing way, and he was quickly cast as the lead role in the children's televisual spy serial sensation of the 70s, Dinky Spy. He battled Soviet agents, he foiled international conspiracies, he infiltrated the inner circles of enemies beyond the Iron Curtain and beyond, and he bravely did all this with the aid of naught but his MI5 provided spy satchel, containing things like a radio disguised as a banana. 118 5-minute episodes later, now 16 years of age and financially comfortable from monthly royalty checks which would keep him secure for life so long as he didn't live past the age of 40, Uncle Elliot decided to retire from acting. He was on the verge of signing a lucrative advertising deal to become the youngest ever face of Dactyrin Athlete's foot cream, when misfortune struck with the devastating and untimely deaths of his parents, who both died on the same day. Pete, from choking on a prop radio banana, and Eunice, who upon learning of this tragic news fell 9 stories from one of the windows Pete liked to stare through, and ironically impaled herself fatally on an oboe. Forlorn and loaded, Uncle Elliot moved to Hobsick, close to the only family he had left, namely me and Mum. He bought his own warden-controlled bungalow and reinvented his cell as a make-believe agricultural contractor. Make-believe, yes, although he does have a tractor and can drive it slowly on B roads, in the daylight, in good weather, if me and Mum are following closely in the Volvo 360 GLE. The previous evening I had loaned him a reel-to-reel tape recorder and some blank tapes to start recording some of his earliest memories, recollections and thoughts he could remember. Maybe finally I could get to the bottom of this. Does the place make the people, or do the people make the place? We're about to find out. I hoped.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I know I might...
You might smell, is that what
No.
you're about to say?
I know I might sound like I've got a hangover.
It sounds like you've got bees stuck up your nose.
That's dust.
Dust from what?
I went to sleep under the sideboard, and I do move around, obviously, but I'm too with that specific area for quite a while.
How many years?
I think there must be a dead mouse or vole or shrew down there, and it's all the fur has come detached from the vole's skin. I've breathed it all up my nose.
Right.
That now I've got a massive hangover.
Yeah.
Look at this. To Kyla.
Never heard of it before.
You've heard of it now. All those
By
bottles are
God.
empty.
I didn't realise it was as strong as that. Oh, yeah, my rocks are good.
Have you about finished? Right, is that bit done? Right, thanks. We can actually get on to the point of why I'm here and not listening to a drunkard talk about sniffing up mice.
I'm not drunk now.
Right.
I said I'm not drunk now, so I can talk to her as all as ever.
You know, you have
you
have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means that you're supposed to listen for twice as long as you speak. With you, it's the other way around.
Oh,
Can I
you need taking to the toilet?
No, I want to get to the point.
What is the point?
Well, that's a good question, but the point is
the tape.
I'm about to play a tape that I've asked Uncle Elliot to prepare.
Oh, heck no, the tape.
Which is here in front of me.
Now.
I asked you to record memories of
But I had ever
Hobsick.
such a lot of problems with it.
With what?
Trying to get it to work.
You've seen me operate a tape player loads of times. I asked you last night, do you know how to work it? You, whilst opening a tequila bottle, said, yes, I do. Know how to work the tape.
That's it.
So you do know how to work the tape.
And what were it? Memories. All my memories.
All your memories of Hobsick that we can include
Yes.
in the programme because you've lived here since you were 16.
This is the programme.
The programme is contained hopefully on this tape with you talking about Hobsick.
It'll be absolutely brilliant.
Well, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will.
I had full orchestra
Right.
with a P bass. I had dancers. I had jokes. I had a ventriloquist. I had it were brilliant. I took over 2,500 francs on the door.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Elliot's...
If I'm sick, do you think you'll hear it?
Well, you've got a bucket there. Just
I don't think
try
I'm
and be
gonna
sick. Try and be
I
sick
have
quiet.
been sick, but
Try
I
and
don't
be
think I
sick
might
quiet.
be sick again.
Try and be sick quietly.
Why, I am badly.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Elliot Campey's Memories of Hobsick.
Through the valley of the moon, the road to El Dorado.
Right. It'll be on after this. Roll it down a bit.
Oh, play the fast forwarding function.
Probably just trying to check out what Tom will be doing.
Warming up.
Is testing the dynamic range of the microphone.
How long to fast forward for?
Pardon?
How long to fast forward for?
What?
The tape with you talking about Hobsick, we're now fast forwarding it. Do I stop it now?
I don't know, I can't hear it.
Now? Bit longer. You see, if we go too far, we'll miss the memories. I'll have to employ the rewind function.
Don't
We'll be
want
skipping
that.
back and
No,
forth all
don't bother
Stop
rewinding
it.
it. Stop
Stop
it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Elliot Campey's Memories of Hobsick.
What did you ladies
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's not it again. Is it even on this tape? Is this the right tape?
Now there is another tape. It could be this one.
Well, shall we try that one? Or do we persevere with this tape?
No, persevere.
For how long?
Well, wind it to end.
Was the tape at the start?
Well, what tape at start?
Was the tape that I've just pressed played with, then stop, fast forward, play, stop, fast forward, stop? Was that at the start, or do I need to...
Yes, because I was rewinding it and then I collapsed under the piano.
Oh, and then breathed up a dead mouse. Right, so you must have got to the end of the tape.
Breathed up a dead mouse? Wait a minute.
Play or stop?
Boy, come my nose in daft block.
Play? Play, ladies... Play? Play?
Play.
Play? Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Elliot Campey's Memories of Hobsick. This doesn't bode well, does it?
How do you mean? Bode well in what way? You mean I might be sick again?
No, I don't mean that. I mean bode well. Stop it now. Bode well in the sense that
There's only about a minute left.
Right.
Stop it there.
Right?
Yeah.
Will this be it?
Definitely.
Right. Yeah, now? Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Elliot Campey's...
Crampy?
Uncle Elliot...
That was deliberate.
Uncle Elliot Campey's Memories of Hobsick.
Well,
That's not it again.
You're listening to the wrong side. I've told you.
Turn it over. Do you want me to turn it over? Turn it over.
Don't tell you.
Turn the tape over. Right.
I told you to turn it over.
Right. Right. Play or fast forward from here?
You are?
Do I press play or do I press fast forward from here when I'm on side B?
Where's it going?
No.
Can't hear anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Elliot Campey's Memories of Hobsick.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired, I don't want to go to bed. I've had
Leave it alone, it's
about
an
an hour ago, and it's gone straight to my head. I've had a couple of drinks about an hour ago, and it's gone straight to my head. And I've had a couple of drinks about an hour ago, and it's gone straight to my head. Wherever I may roam, on land or foam, you shall always hear me singing this song. I'll show me how to roam my boat. Oh!
I bet you're beginning to think that I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's crossed my mind. It seems pretty likely that you haven't. Stop it here and try. Stop it here and try. Do I stop it here and press play?
What are you looking for? Other songs?
Yes. No.
What
Are
then?
you talking about Hobsick?
Oh, now let it roll on a bit.
Right, Elliot, if I press play now, will this be it? Because if not, I'm just going to have to go.
Alright, try it. I'm sure it is. I do remember talking about Hobsick because we had a crowd of at least 200.
Yeah, further fantasy. Last chance saloon for you, bozo. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Elliot Campey's Memories of Hobsick.
There was an old fisherman, set sail from old Pimlico.
What you're doing is you're fast forwarding over me talking about Hobsick and you're only catching song. It's all by coincidence. I did it like I was performing it in France.
How long have it performing what in France?
As if it was my stage show
Why
where
would
I
it be
talk
in
about...
France? Because then anyone would listen to you.
Well, because I was drinking tequila.
Okay, I get that part. Right.
Leave it on, no, leave it
I'm
on.
stopping it. I'm
Because it'll be on after
Alright,
this.
leave it on.
Leave it to end at song, it'll
Haven't
be
you
on.
already done this song?
No. I didn't do any repeats, although no, I did an encore. Because they asked for requests. And then they did an encore till about 5:30 in the morning.
It's over. It's all over and you ruined it because for one night, you couldn't stop drinking. For one night, you couldn't stop drinking.
2 nights. You won't take into the toilet before you go?
Yeah, please.
Right, just a minute.
It's true that Uncle Elliot Campey regularly ceases to amaze me. Still, if he wasn't up for talking to me about what makes this village so special, a serendipitous glance at a pamphlet I picked up in a chip shop implied that there were plenty of people who were. 8 people, in fact. All members of the Hobsick History Society, which I'd never even heard of, but according to the pamphlet it definitely was a thing. I spoke to local historian Mike Jaycock, who provided me with a vague and fascinating peep into Hobsick's fascinating past. Hi, I'm Bernard. You must be Mike.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you...
Thank you.
That's fine, it's nice to meet you. I should explain to listeners at home or in the car that we are just stood on a little heath overlooking Hobsick.
Well, this is where...
This is a nice stone path next to the bypass.
Next to the bypass. I mean, years ago...
Try and talk into the mic.
Sorry. There wouldn't have been a bypass, obviously, hundreds of years ago. And there is a dispute.
Can we move away from the bypass and look the other direction towards Hobsick?
Because where the bypass is...
No, try and talk into the mic.
I'm just looking back at the bypass.
Don't look at the bypass.
There's a dispute that it's... I'll look this way and I think
but talk
that I'm
into
looking
the mic.
Yeah. The bypass...
Talk about something without looking at it. I'm not being rude, it's just for the listeners at home or in the car.
Yeah. It's the bypass.
Don't worry about the bypass.
Used to be a cart track, if we go back far enough. And
So in settlement terms, why is the Hobsick village a reasonable distance from what used to be the cart track? You would have thought the cart track would run
Well, that
through...
would main cart track to Towley, you see.
Towley is, for those of you listening at home or in the car...
You see,
who don't-
Towley's got bigger, Hobsick's got bigger, so now...
But Towley's bigger than Hobsick.
Oh, much
Yes.
bigger, but, you know, we are now sort of set to become like a suburb of it.
What were the sort of things, what were the sort of working environments, the jobs that
Back
people would
in
have?
the olden days,
back
where
then?
there'd be blacksmith shops and besom yards and not really any big industry, because it's not a mining area. People say it's a mining area. There's evidence. Some say that there's been tin mining, lead mining. Not so much. I don't think. I've not found any bellends around here, so I don't think that.
Because wherever there's a bellend, there'll be smelting
wherever there's a
lead.
bellend, that's where they would smoke.
Yes, I read that in the pamphlet that you supplied.
Yeah. Well, I
supplied
have to
on a
keep
Sunday morning.
updating pamphlet because there's a dispute about some of the facts in the pamphlet.
So you're saying there's no evidence of lead mining in
Well, there's a bit, yeah. I mean, they have found some, but I wouldn't say it was a really lead mining area or tin.
So what you're saying is there is evidence of something which
more
you're
farmland.
saying that didn't happen.
Well, what I'm saying is that until we've got more evidence that there were a lot of lead mining, I would say that lead mining weren't a major industry around here.
Right, so we're talking more about different crafts back in those days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but it's mainly farmland, really, because it's good ground, good water supply.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yes. What would you say makes a Hobsick person special?
I don't think there's out that makes them special. There's certainly a lot of things that make them different.
Can you just rattle off a few of these differences?
I mean, well, traditionally, people from Hobsick are quite small. They're not tall people.
Is that because of interference in the water supply, the lead getting...
No, there's not a lot of lead mining around here.
Is it malnutrition?
No.
Lack of sunlight?
It could be...
Overwork?
Could be that sort of thing. Or it could just be the genetics of it. And
Yes.
in that, and they don't... They sort of... It's known that the indigenous people of Hobsick, who's going back hundreds of years, they tend to grow a lot through primary school. They shoot up like in early years of primary school, get to about 5'4", and then
Yes.
stop.
But do you think
there's a lot of smaller folk.
Do you think that also attracts small people to come here and live here who weren't actually born here? Such as my Uncle Elliot's 5'5.5". He is on the
he would be
small.
tall.
But he was attracted to live here.
Yeah,
I suppose they feel at home. Do they feel at home?
They do. Yeah, it's a small village of small people with small ideas.
This is really exciting, Mike, because I came here thinking we were going to talk about basic history, and we're actually dipping into philosophy a little bit.
History's all tied
History
up with past
is
and that.
economics. Is that true?
I don't know.
I just made that up.
I don't really know.
Could you tell us a little bit about some of the interesting things you found on your digs?
I'll show you.
Yes. Remember to talk into the mic,
Yeah,
please,
these
Mike.
are all old fossils. These. That's. Just a minute. That. I'll believe it or not.
What is that, Mike? Could you just explain to the
Well,
listeners
I'm looking
what?
at something about 6 or 7 inches long. So it's stone fossil, and you can see there's a shape of what could be an eye, and that's probably where its nose were. It's a fossilised sea creature. All this would have been underwater. I mean, we're going back a long time.
How many years?
A lot of years.
500 years.
No.
1,500 years.
Millions of years.
I'm sorry.
Millions. Really back into.
Are you really saying that what was just in your hand was 1,000,000 years old?
Probably older than that, and that's even bigger.
What is that? Mike, can you just explain what that is?
Well, I think it's a skull.
What is it a skull of?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's
I have seen skulls.
different school of thought on it. It could be, again, another sea creature.
Where are you going to show me now?
This is just through here. That's you can't really see it now, but there was a stone there that was the marker of one of old barons who was slayed at the Battle of Towley.
The Battle of Towley.
It's the Battle of Towley, but really it were Hobsick, really. But they called it Towley because it were, that were baronet area.
Was this a battle over what
The
exactly?
battle was in 1170.
And it was a battle over.
It was only one day.
I don't mean like when it. I mean what it was. What was it?
What was the battle?
What was it about? Land.
About
Land.
Land and probably.
Would they have been fighting for commodities?
I don't know. You see, this is another dispute that they were fighting over mining rights, but I don't.
I thought you said there wasn't really any
I know
mining.
because I've not found enough evidence of mining. So probably they were fighting because somebody thought that there were going to be a good opportunity to mine in area, and they weren't. But anyway, they see there ought to be a proper marker for that. There's just a very small stone there.
Somebody may take the
Actually,
stone.
hold on, no, it's not there. It's there.
Ah,
That's it. So yeah, it is more distinguished. I was looking at that.
what's that then?
That's just a stone, I think. I don't think that now. There's definitely that one. Years ago, now we're going back to Dad's dad. He when he was
Your granddad?
historian as well, and they tried to get a petition to dig up the bones of the Baron, but it were refused. And then they tried again, I think in the 30s, but then war come, so it was put on hold. And I've not tried to pursue it because I just don't. I don't know. I think we should leave it be. I think it's been peaceful since 1170.
I think that's wise. You could
leave it
unleash a
be.
curse on the village.
Yeah, we don't want that.
A plague or a
because
pestilence.
it's a happy village, isn't it? There's,
I'm not. Yeah.
Well, I think it is.
I think the community is strong.
Yeah.
Could you take me back to the path, please?
Yes, just on here. That's it then.
Yeah, I wondered if you could just quickly sum up Hobsick in one or two words. And the first thing that comes to mind, just Hobsick to you is...
Historically significant.
You couldn't ask for any more.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you very much.
It's not that historically significant, but I think if you say it's not, I would say that it is.
Thanks, Mike. The Dell Inn is the oldest inn in Hobsick. It's not the oldest building. That honour goes to Hobsick Castle. Why not go to Hobsick Castle then? Because it's privately owned and the owner won't talk to me for the programme. He's opening the door, somebody's...
Welcome,
Hello, Walter Hall-Wallace.
Bernard the Lord Moore.
I'm here to see Mrs. Posman, as I'm sure you know.
Yes. Now, you've come to ask about the history.
The history of the pub, the history of the folklore, basically.
Have you got
because-
all day?
Well, I can have, in a pub. I can spend all day in a pub, I can that.
I know. I've seen your slate.
Have you? I don't look too closely. No, I will pay that, honestly.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Now,
Are you taking me to Mrs.
I'm
Posman?
taking you on a tour.
Yes. Where are we now exactly? Is this obviously we're in the oldest pub
This
in
is
Hobsick.
Private. In here.
Oh, is these the secret quarters?
Show you in for the benefits of
The show.
program.
Yeah.
Here, in 1804, a man was murdered, and they hid the body in a chest over here.
Chestnut there, is it?
It's still here.
What?
Now,
He's not in, is he?
there. That's the chest.
Where's the body?
Oh, the body's buried.
Oh, good. Good.
There's some
I
rough
thought you were going to
going
open it and a
on
load
around
of
here.
skeleton were going to fall out.
That's in the other room, skeleton.
All right.
Oh,
Do you find that it's strange living in a place with so much history, which
Oh,
could
we
be
have
called
some
supernatural?
funny noises
You do.
at
Suppose-
night.
Suppose you would in a packed pub
Oh no, I mean after hours.
after. Oh
You know,
dear.
the Dell Inn, in all its history, has only ever had one lock-in. And that's because when the clock strikes midnight,
That clock there.
that's when the phantom appears.
What?
Now,
I'm glad it's not midnight now. I'd be in a taxi on the way home.
in the 1950s, they did hold a lock-in here.
Were you here?
I wasn't here then, but I've heard about it.
Right. What's the tale?
They were up gambling and drinking, as the locals are wont to do.
And still do. Still do.
And this whole
cabinet behind me
This is a strange...
started to shake and tremble, and the drawers flew out across the room and hit a poacher square in the forehead.
What happened?
Knocked him down dead. And that was the only time they ever held. I'm just going to shut this now.
Yeah, and
I don't like going in there.
And they've never had another one because of fear of Phantom Cabinet. You don't dare mingle with the mess with the Phantom Cabinet.
Well,
I think you're very
we
wise.
can't really shift it. I mean, it's a very nice piece of furniture if you like that sort of thing.
I get the impression, Walter.
Solid oak.
I get the impression, Walter, that you're very respectful of your surroundings.
Well, I make a modest living, and I make sure that my customers are happy, and you can't say fairer than that. And people have said, why don't you have the vicar round to sort the ghosts out? But to be quite honest, if it stops people having lock-ins, I'm all for it.
If they only kill poachers and gamblers, I mean...
Now down the cellar, Mrs. Posman is waiting.
Is she down there in the dark?
She's down there in the dark.
What's she doing? The door was locked.
Was it?
It looked like it was.
No, that's just the latch.
Oh.
She's down there.
Okay.
I think she's got an old lantern or something, but I've got to go and use the facilities.
So I'm going down there on my own?
Well, I thought that was the idea.
Well, I can do. I mean, I'm not scared. Why would I be scared? I once piloted a plane in a dream. Right. Right, yeah. Okay. Ooh. Mrs. Posman, are you down there?
Hello?
Is there any chance of turning a light on, please? I don't know how many steps there are.
I did have a candle, but it's gone out.
Well, where's the light switch?
The in one.
How am I going to get down the stairs?
Just get out the handrail.
Right. How many steps are there?
11.
1, 2, 3. What's that on the wall?
Hurry up, I'm freezing down here.
I'm not surprised. I wish I'd gone to optician for a new prescription. Am I here? Have I arrived?
Are your eyes adjusting a bit?
No. My legs are trying to adjust. I don't want one leg's shorter than the other one. I have trouble with stairs.
We are here, in the cellar of the dwelling, the oldest inn in Hobsick. And this cellar used to be
What did it used to be?
the lair
The lair? This doesn't
of
sound
the
like...
legendary mythical new man.
The new man? I've heard stories of that, but nothing other than playground tittle-tattle.
On spindly legs and cloven hooves, the new man plounced across some roofs. He hurdled hedges, swum through ponds, and in a flash, like that, he's gone.
Where's he gone?
Beneath the soil, beneath the stone, a lair he lives in all alone, heaped high with corpses, gold and gems. Such things as them's his only friend.
I don't want to be his friend.
With strong sharp teeth and deadly claws, he'll pin you down upon the floor and eat your face and stew your brains and do a dance on your remains.
Can we put a light on? Can we just put a
In
couple...
nightmares he will haunt you too.
No.
The new man's here, he's come for you. This is his lair. This is his nest, and you are his uninvited guest. Oh, wait.
In the cool, cool darkness, I was gripped with the scariest fear I'd experienced since, as a child of 10, I used the abandoned lavatory at the bottom of the garden, which I was told to never go in. I pulled the chain, the cistern tippled over and showered me with bones. On a scale from 1 to 10, that was a 10. This was a 6. My brains went blank. My one knee that was not made of pottery went weak, and I passed out upon the slippery, slimy, slug-smooth flagstones. In that moment of scary fear, something happened to me that should ideally have happened either earlier or later in the day, whilst I was sitting down on a toilet, with the lid up and the window open, and a robust supply of Isle medicated to hand. I came to with my fingers in something lukewarm, moist and mushy. Luckily, it was peas.
Phew, it's peas.
Hey, get your filthy fingers out of me, peas.
What happened? Why am I in your city? What time is it? I'm meant to be doing the show. Oh no!
Shush, you're recuperating.
Recuperating from what? I don't remember. You gotta tell me, man.
Have a drink of tea.
Oh, tea, yeah, tea plus what else?
Plus condensed milk and 9 sugars. Just how you like it.
What
Just
happened
how you
to me,
usually
man?
have it.
Man, what did they do to me over there? What's going on?
Where is it that you think you've been?
You tell me, asshole. Was it Saigon? Was it space? Was it the moon, man?
It was the Dell Inn on Welcley Lane.
Really?
Been there plenty of times before.
Elliot, my legs won't stop shaking. Why are they shaking?
Ethel Posman recited some poetry for you or something in a cellar. You remember about a ghostly note or something? You started fretting and messed yourself. Filled it right good and proper. All up your back, all down 54-inch waist tracksuit bottoms. They've had to go in bin.
Oh no!
Adult nappy caught some of it, but
It was his lair!
unfortunately,
I was in his lair! And no business had I there in his lair, and he pounced perchance to scare Elliot, the cellar, the darkness, the cellar
on
and
now,
darkness.
come on.
I'm falling! I'm
No,
falling!
Sure, come on, I'm enough of this now. Stop it. Drink your tea.
I want what you're eating.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. We don't want any more accidents. My bathroom looks like something out of a horror film.
I want 2 lots of chips and peas and a large cod, or if the large cods aren't very large, 2 large cods, or if there are no large cods, 3 mini cods and onion rings.
No. Your bowels will not take it.
Elliot,
I'm telling you.
I'm very hungry. You're all right. You've had your lunch.
Oh, yeah, well,
You've had exactly what
just
you
have
wanted.
something light.
Why
Have
I-
toast.
Why-
Can't you just have a slice of
I
toast?
don't want chips sometimes.
Uncle Elliot persisted in his whinging until I simply could not take any more.
I've not filled back in my britches, have I?
Yeah, but that was through fry. That wasn't through treats.
He loves it when I don't get my own way occasionally.
You do this
You don't do
again.
anything about
You
it.
deny me food, basically.
I'm
You
not
did-
denying you food.
You
Remember what the
deny-
doctor said? I'm the enabler now.
Yeah, you are the enabler, so fulfill that responsibility, please. I'm hungry.
It's 'cause he's a controlled freak. I threatened him with the sack. I knew that would do the trick.
Yeah, we know that.
He hates going in that sack. Off he paddled to our local fish and chips shop, Batter City, returning 15 to 20 minutes later with fish, chips, peas and onion rings. I ate them all in 10 to 15 mins approx, and although I wasn't quite full, I did still feel scared and my feet were shaking a lot. Maybe this was the sort of scary fear that could only be alleviated by a second big portion of fish, chips and peas. Unfortunately, by then it was 10 to 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and Batter City shuts at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and Uncle Elliot takes 10 to 15 minutes approx to walk there, and the thought of him going, leaving me alone in his bungalow, and returning after 30 to 40 mins approx with no fish, chips or peas, was putting me in a really bad headspace. Instead, I gave him £15, and he went to the Tummyful portable pizza stand and fetched me 2 cheese and tomato mini pizzas with a side order of curly fries. And when I'd finished it, I actually felt full. But I did feel still feel a bit scared, and my feet were still shaking. I gave Uncle Elliot another £15, and he fetched me a half-pound chunka burger with onion rings, bacon, a fried egg, a large curly fries, and a complimentary dip of my choice, which was Crazy Cajun. And when I finished it, I felt very full, but I still felt slightly scared, and my feet were shaking a bit still as well. I gave Uncle Elliot another £15, and he went to Stool Busters and fetched me a family feed, a Flabmaster Bumper Bellybuster Fun Meal, which consisted of 12 pieces of chicken fried in breadcrumbs, 6 parcels of pointy thin chips, 8 different dips that all tasted the same, and a coiled boiled sausage as big as a clock, with a puddings tray of 4 crispy caramel sticky pancakes, 4 syrup sponges and a washing up basin full of jelly. When I finished it, I didn't feel scared anymore, but I did feel sick. I couldn't see my feet because my tummy was in the way. I wanted to ask Uncle Elliot if my feet were still shaking, but he was getting the wheelbarrow out of the garden shed to go to Secretio's Paunch Palace to fetch me a Grandpa Fosterello cheese please, a super shake, and 2 family sacks of Jumpy Monkey donuts with double drip choco fudge extra sauce. I started to feel scared as well as sick, and I couldn't see my feet to see if they were shaking. Uncle Elliot arrived with the milkshake and donuts, and when I finished them, I was sick. But he assured me my feet weren't shaking and I didn't feel scared anymore. I'd done it. I'd conquered my fear. A huge feeling of achievement flowed through my entire body and out the other end. Uncle Elliot took me to the bathroom to change me, and whilst taking advantage of the marvellous lavatorially designed acoustics, I hit on the idea of writing a community song. Something that really would mean something to the people of Hobsick. Something very special.
All right, I'll start you off. You ready?
What was that first word?
It was the melody, you know.
I can't hear what you're saying, I know your voice is squished. I thought you said I live in Hobsick. I live in Hobsick.
That's the idea.
It's the place, the greatest place. I've got to face the facts now. Hobsick is my hometown, even though it's a village. Let's all sing together.
Then I had an even betterer idea. I'd get Uncle Elliot to write it for me.
Obviously, Mother and I want the best words, but did you say the verse for yourself? And,
How many verses?
I don't know, just how many people you want to write lyrics for.
I might actually ask some people to help me with it, is that alright?
Elliot, you ask who you want, as long as you do it.
Where are you going now? I said, where are you off to now?
I'm booked in at the community centre.
Right, well, let's get you down to the community centre.
About 45 minutes ago.
45 minutes ago?
Well, yeah, but I've had to have my lunch and then I've had to get washed.
You're listening to the Sir Bernard Moore Show. The name Hobsick Community Social Event Club Ballroom Tea Room Theatre conjures an image of a mental picture in the mind of a great big room, designed for dancing, made for merriment, built for banquets, tailored for tea parties and created for council meetings. Council meetings that go on way too long. And conclude with a unanimous decision to ban Sir Bernard Moore from any future council meetings. Spoil sports. Thing is, the community centre's more than just a big room. It's actually 4 rooms. One big room, another room nearly as big, but in fact deceptively a fair bit smaller and with a subtly slightly more low-key vibe. A toilet that we request you leave as you found it, please, and a snappy little kitchenette. And it's in that very kitchenette I met Nick Pinch and his band, Blap. Hi, Nick. I'm Bernard. You must be Nick.
Hi, Sir Bernard Moore is here.
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
In the
And
flesh.
Some of the flesh is... Oh, that's a right mess.
You're referring to my
You've been
leg?
in an accident.
It's a minor swelling of the day. It's getting worse, but
Do you want to sit down?
yeah, I'll sit down. Could you help me into the seat, please?
Have a fag.
Take some pressure off my legs. Cigarette.
Hang on.
Get the lighter.
That's it.
Thank you very much. That's just what you need when you're feeling a bit invalided. Unfortunately, water retention runs in the family. My dad gets sick when he drinks cider all weekend.
Right.
Mainly gets water retention in his nose, though.
Round his nose.
He ends up looking like one of them creatures under the sea that evolution forgot about. Not good.
I think no. I think I saw your dad actually in the
Where
Fur Pack
did you see him?
Yesterday afternoon.
Potentially.
About
would be.
3:30. He was buying toilet rolls and medium strength cider and a small quiche.
Sounds like my dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been trawling through the old songbook, and I've got a song that's the only one I think is about Hobsick.
Right, this sounds encouraging, but Nick, I must
But
say...
the bad news is that the band aren't.
I was going to say, where have the band
The
gone?
band have let us down.
But Nick, I booked my slot.
No, one of them is choosing a new kitchen, and they've decided that the only member of the band that doesn't really need any involvement in selecting the surfaces for the work surfaces for the kitchen is me.
Right,
So-
where is this kitchen? Do you all live together?
No, it's what's his name? It's Paul's kitchen.
Paul's kitchen, but the band, which going to choose the
They're
kitchen?
gonna. They just want to be involved in selecting the work surfaces.
Well, I have to
And I-
sympathise with the way
I
they've
got-
prioritised their day, because this is pretty big.
Well,
This will be broadcast
yeah,
in the area.
in the area. Yeah, that's what I said. It's going to be broadcast.
Yeah, so
the
so
area.
you are the only one of Blab who are here.
Of Blab, I'm the only representative.
Of
but
Blab.
listen, I don't care
Blab.
about Blab.
Sorry, Nick, I've been saying Blab.
Don't worry about it. No, nobody knows anyway. The tune I'm going to do
Yes,
is
Nick.
Space Carnival 1991,
Space Carnival 90...
which was actually a thing.
Last year.
It was a thing.
It
There
was
were
a-
probably, 400 people?
Oh, at least. It was a celebratory event that we had on the 20th of July to celebrate 22 years since Americans claimed ownership of the moon. There was all sorts of fun and games to be had by all the family. Do you remember, Nick? It was fantastic.
I remember...
Spot the Spaceman?
I don't remember that. I remember there being a machine, like a tractor. Some guy had a tractor.
That was everybody's favourite. That was, yes, how long can you last on Uncle Elliot's homemade G-Force machine?
That was a G-force machine.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Many tears were shed.
I just remember the fumes and the...
Yeah. For you to actually commemorate that event in a song, Nick, could not be more fitting for this show. So let's hear what you're going to play for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Pinch and Blab with Space Carnival 1991.
Space Carnival 1991, the social event of the year. It's the kind of occasion you can meet anyone, except for the people who aren't here. Have a peep at planets 100 million miles away. Through the giant telescope, this Model's X display. At the Space Carnival 1991, the social event of the year. Have a good time, yeah, let's all have some fun. Don't mention there's no atmosphere. Astronauts will wait on you, serve rehydrated lunch and tea. Float in the queue for the space portaloo. You better aim carefully. Are you ready for the future? 'Cause it arrived this afternoon. Shiny electronics, far-reaching rockets, space races, pale faces, piss bags and pickpockets at Space Carnival 1991. The end of the party is near. That punch won't defy gravity. The beer's all gone. I keep thinking, why am I here? The universe is big and getting bigger every day. So why isn't there more legroom on the bus? I've missed it anyway. In a field behind a pub, far too round to go inside. I delved the depths of space until the landlady called time. You said that you were going. I was sad you didn't show. I guess a telescope and flat warm pints don't really float your boat. And I staggered home with the sunrise and the night side of the moon. Seen it close up in a memory in my head, which I'll remember now forever, or at least all afternoon. The carnival is over, there won't be another one, so they said. The space carnival's over, we prefer monster trucks instead. Carnival is over, go home and go to bed.
Even though the rest of the group were busied selecting appropriately suitable kitchen work surfaces, I felt as if they were really there, chatting and joking about the living daylights, polyrhythms and John Major. Great stuff. Now I'm going in the big room to meet a local theatre group for young people who would otherwise be letting people's tyres down, learning new swear words and smoking drugs. I know they would because one of them swore at me and let my tyres down when I wouldn't sell him any heroin. If those kids only appreciated what Charnier and Devereaux went through getting that stuff over here. Man, I dunno. Youth of today. Naughty, naughty. Anyway, let's see what they do.
Come with me on my borrowed mule, and we can head into the town for mead and what?
Victuals.
Victuals. What's victuals?
Don't let me interrupt, guys.
We are at, just go to quickly, top of, bear with me, top of page, top of page 2, the mole jail.
Mid-rehearsal.
Right, mole jail, have you got it?
Seems under a bit of
Have
pressure.
you got it? Yes! Right. Sometime today, jail, you're in jail. Jail, you will stay in jail. At the mercy of the mole jailers. Dinner is your dinner. Dinner, I have brought the dinner. Scampi, chips, and tomato. Pudding is your pudding. Pudding, I have brought the pudding. I'm taking scampi yet. Go on. Jail, you're in jail. Jail, you will stay in jail. At the mercy of the mole jailers. Gate clangs shut. Go on.
Does anybody want any more powdered soup?
Why are you doing that stupid voice?
Well, I thought that it was appropriate for the character.
Okay, maybe. I think we're going to probably change that line to, do any of the prisoners require more powdered soup?
This is
Do-
script surgery.
Do any of the prisoners require any powdered soup?
We're going to do the bit about the trains.
Yes. Old jailers, have mercy. Them trainers aren't so dirty.
They are. They're filthy. Take them off. Go to the sink and use the cloth.
We can't go to the sink and use the cloth because obviously there is no sink yet. Why isn't this dry, this paint?
It's boat paint.
Boat paint? You are kidding.
It's really durable.
Yeah, we don't need durability. We've only got 3 nights. We're not going out to sea.
Yeah, but this is, look at the colour.
Grey. It's just grey. We could have used the spray. We could have used the glitter grey spray.
Yeah, but I didn't think there'd be enough. So,
I think this is way better. It's not better. Look, it's wet. It was wet yesterday. It was wet the day before. It's wet today. It'll be wet tomorrow. It'll be wet tonight. It'll be wet for the whole thing. You've ruined it. People will be walking around covered in wet paint. Well, that could be part of it.
I spoke to self-appointed group director, playwright, protagonist, set designer, musical director and talent scout, Diane Birdedare. Diane, could I just take you to one side quickly,
Yes.
just to
will
talk
have to be
about what you are doing? This is the local theatre group.
This is where the Hobsick Community Theatre really earns its name.
This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic hopefully will be happening tomorrow night.
Hopefully,
and
yes.
then the next night, and then the next night after that.
Three nights.
Yes.
So this is like the final running rehearsal.
This is no. The dress rehearsal will be tomorrow afternoon before the performance tomorrow night. The first performance tomorrow night. So it's like a dress rehearsal.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, thank you for the £50.
Pardon?
Thank you for the £50.
I'm sorry?
You donated a cheque for £50
To this?
for this.
I've paid towards this.
We basically paid for most of the pop and biscuits and
Pot?
Pop.
Oh, pop. Sorry, I thought you said pot.
No.
Honestly, these days I'm signing so many cheques I lose track of things. My uncle's usually in charge of the business side.
Actually, I think it was him that brought the cheque round.
It was. Right, I'll be seeing him shortly, so I'll... bring
Well,
him
just
a
thanks
that.
anyway, because it's
Thanks,
really
yes.
helped. It's really helping us
to do this.
have more pop and biscuits.
Pop?
Yes.
Right, yes. Diane, you
Yes.
are the centrepiece of this little outfit, which is not so little in more ways than
How do
one.
you mean centrepiece?
Well, you're the one that the other people
I'm in the
revolve
middle of
around.
I'm in the middle of the room.
Am I right in thinking you actually wrote this?
Well, we all contributed something.
And it is called
The Princess of the Kingdom of the Stupid Moles.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about how does the group function? If they do function, I'm assuming they can.
Yeah. Well, they're functioning better now that we've discouraged them bringing cans.
Right.
And we only, if we have a break, we smoke together. We're not all just smoking all at once, because the room not full of smoke.
Yeah.
So we're
So
doing.
it's less a theatre group, more kind of addicts
Well, let's not
recovery.
get I mean, it is a theatre group, but it is mainly a lot of it's social, because a lot of them don't get out, and a lot of them don't socialise.
Only here through smoking and drinking pop.
And having biscuits, yes.
And singing.
Singing,
That's-
yeah,
well, that's good.
they do the singing.
Yeah, they do the singing. And what are you hoping to
achieve?
Well, to achieve. Well, where do you see this going?
I think what we're hoping to achieve is ultimately what we're hoping to achieve through this is to achieve through achieving this just a sense of the achievement of doing it once they're finished. Probably not the first night, but once the whole run is finished, they can just have that feeling that they've been
That they've achieved.
that they've been part of something.
Achieved. And it's
And they will.
helped
I mean,
them.
there's 40. I went 39 because one of them's got chicken pox. But there's a big company.
Let's hope that more don't go down with it before the show.
Oh, don't say that.
I've said it now.
Oh no, that's all we need.
I've said
isn't
it now. I've said
Yeah,
it.
that's all we need.
Yeah. Anyway, Diane, it's been nice.
It's
in
I
some
just hope
ways.
that we can pull it off.
That's always the thing. Yeah, good
That's
luck.
it, isn't
Good
it?
luck, and I'll
Don't say good luck. You say break a leg
break
in the theatre.
in the theatre.
Don't say good luck. You're cursing.
Yes, don't go down with chicken pox now.
No, I'm gonna have to be wary of that.
Bye.
The dreary heat of the day and my attempts to self-medicate my shaky, breaky legs with heavy wine and light opiates had started to take their toll. I found a 1.25 metre square of cardboard on the floor of the toilets and grabbed 40 winks for 45 mins approx. Other things happened too. Sometimes you just need a little vom. When I came to, I tiptoed into the kitchenette to steal some food and look in the fridge to see if anyone had left any meds which I could pilfer when a small man with a big perm shouted at me. His name was Ian Rantsperm, and he was just about to set up 10 chairs to welcome the members of his weekly self-help group.
Okay, I didn't know there was such a thing as a self-help group. What?
It's not a self-help group. They're not helping themselves. I help them. People come to me and say, Ian, we've got a problem. I say, good. Well, I've got a solution.
What sort of problems?
Do people come with?
Yeah.
All sorts of problems. They come to me and say, Ian, I'm drinking 8 pints of beer every night. I say, well, what are you doing? They say, I just sit at home next to the radiator, drink 8 pints. I says, It's not the pints, it's the place. Get yourself down to the pub. Get
Drinking,
yourself on a bench seat and drink with a friend. Because solitary is no good to anybody.
and that's your idea of a solution.
Well, it's one solution, isn't it? I mean, how do you wean people off bottle? It's impossible.
I've found it impossible, I have to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Other people come to me, and one woman, she comes, she says, I can't stop my son eating rabbit food.
that's quite a problem.
Yeah, they haven't even got a rabbit. Even bigger problem, isn't it? Son thought he were a rabbit. He wanted a rabbit, she won't give him a rabbit, so starts eating rabbit food, pinching it from pet shop, eating the food, eating the rabbit's food that they didn't have.
What was your solution?
I'm still working on that one.
Right, is he coming tonight then?
That's a home visit. I have to get dressed as a reptile to try and intimidate him out of his hutch.
My goodness, that is a solution
Oh,
and
it's
a
a
half.
challenge.
Ian,
You're
what's...
all sorts here, you know.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Yeah. Usually, depends how hungover I am. Just put a video on for them. Something light-hearted, you know, like Compo. Other times, you know, they'll start to open up a bit. We start talking about the problems. And
Other times you just watch comedies.
sometimes, yeah, it's the only thing to do. I mean, they think they've got problems. I've got to deal with all their problems.
Yeah.
And they want answers. And I don't have them.
Have you ever had a problem that you've not found a solution to? And
Yeah,
what was
I
the
mean,
problem?
well, I think through years, I've been at this since I stopped working for fisheries, so I've been at this now 12 years. I would say I've probably solved under half of the problems. This is, you know, it's
It's a stressful job, Ian, I can
it's
tell.
stressful. I don't ask a lot, I ask £1 a session.
£1 a session.
But a lot of
How
this,
long's the session?
it's an hour. So
So-
it's not bad really, is it?
No.
Dozen
no.
of them turn up.
But
You
it's
know,
your- it's
I've
your-
got my petrol money, I don't ask for petrol
Where have
money.
you come from?
From the Rother Valley.
You've come all the way from the Rother Valley.
A lot of these people with problems, first thing I'll ask them, other than, you know, what's your name and things like that, do you know anybody from Rother Valley?
And
No,
do they say
pretend
what?
they don't know. They,
They
don't
don't
know
know.
anyone from Rother
Other
Valley.
than you.
Other than me.
Do
But
you introduce yourself as being from the Rother Valley?
always, because you never know who you're talking to. I can tell already you're not from Rother Valley.
No, I'm from Cairo.
Yeah, really? Cairo?
Well, I
Wow.
was born there, yeah.
Right.
Do you work for the Rother Valley Tourist Board by any
No.
chance?
No.
No.
No, I'm independent. I have no qualifications. I tell this to them the
Really?
first session. I say, if you want certificates, if you want medals pinned on my chest, I say I have not the one.
But
Because-
you do have...
None.
No, I mean,
I've
you
got
haven't
a-
got like nous
I've got
or...
12-year experience.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm from the Rother Valley.
And how do people
they're
sort their
not-
problems out in the Rother Valley if
Well,
that's...
like I'm telling you now, straight. You know, sort it out, get it sorted, nip it in the bud. That's a good start. One of the wisest people I ever knew, because he's passed on now,
Right.
was Graham Cheeseshaw.
I don't know him.
No, well, you won't do. He was from the Rother Valley.
He
well,
was?
actually, then he was
Graham Cheesethorpe.
Cheeseshaw. And then he
Cheeseshaw.
moved to Doncaster,
Ah.
and he had 2 porcupines, and he taught them to sing in unison, not very loud, but with skill. And we recorded it in stereo, and that recording is absolutely second to none. You can put that on your show.
I continued to talk to Ian Rantsperm for a further 4 minutes 96 approx until his group turned up.
I've got to go and set chairs up.
They looked a lot like the theatre group, only 15 years older and more divorced. I thought, come on Bernard, off you puddle, this ain't your crowd. If Ian hadn't told me they had problems, I never would have guessed. One of them even looked so much like me, I thought it was me. She even had my walk. The only difference was, she needed help, and I was in need of none. In that, I was super fortunate, and she was super unlucky. But she was also super fortunate to have Ian, who was super unlucky to have to deal with her. As I walked through the cemetery to grab some precious me time, I lit a spliff and renumerated Ian's parting words to me, which echoed in my brains.
I say to 'em each and every one, do you wish to languish in the washing up bowl of deceit, or set sail on the yacht of treats?
and the most of them chose the yacht of trees, which this week means either a jock and orange Twix else a time out.
Yeah. Something was starting to begin to occur to me. Not now massively revelatory like, but I did feel it entering my head as a thought worth thinking about. Down to earth, I kept thinking. Yeah. Hobsick people are down to earth. They talk to you. They listen a bit. They pull together. Down to earth. Ooh, ooh. But what happens when a down to earth person finds themselves out of this world? Get ready, cause this is true. In the summer of 1990, Tim Splashsleeve, who lives right here in Hobsick, was taken in a spacecraft into space by space aliens. Still sceptical? Get ready and fasten your seatbelt, because he's taking me somewhere in his car.
I'd been at a Ruby wedding do, but unfortunately, I'd got the percentages mixed up. I thought that I was drinking a 3.7%
Session ale?
light ale. I was drinking a 7.3% barley wine.
It's a pretty substantial difference, Tim. It's pretty substantial.
Yeah. And I soon found out it didn't suit me.
Did you find out by running into a ditch, or...?
No. I'm still at the Ruby wedding, though.
Oh, right. I thought you said you were coming on the road.
Well, I'm trying to show you where I was driving
Yes.
that night. Because I'm not familiar with it. Well, I'm familiar with this road now, but I wasn't at the time.
Particularly not after all that ale.
Well, I've only had 2.
Ah,
But you see, because of the percentages, I didn't have enough sandwiches to mop it up. So,
What? Sorry.
No, go on.
I should say, what sandwiches were they?
There's ham and mustard.
Ham and mushroom?
Mustard,
Mustard.
ham and tomato and lettuce. Cheese and tomato. Cheese and onion.
Got a good memory too.
And, oh yeah, because who does the catering, that's it, isn't it? It's always the same. They always put a very simple spread.
And how many sandwiches had you had?
I've probably had about 5 small sandwiches.
Of which types of sandwich?
I had 1 ham and mustard, because they're a good one to start off on, aren't they?
Yeah, mustard cleanses the palate.
They're a good start to sarnie. And then I had a tuna and cucumber, that through. But as I came over this ridge where that car's coming now,
Yeah.
a great big space aliens craft was right before me. It was massive. I mean,
What size are we talking?
oh, it was about as big as Anfield Stadium.
I'm not familiar with that.
What football stadiums are you familiar with?
Saltergate?
Oh, it's bigger than Salty, Not as big as Wembley. But if I'm just going to pull over here, because this is where it all started to happen. Now I stopped the car about here.
Which is where we're stopping now.
Run over that.
You've just run over a pizza.
A pizza packaging.
I think there was pizza in it. Shall I have a
There's
look?
packaging. It's pizza packaging.
There's another one
packaging.
there.
There's another. Someone's been up here eating Hawaiian pizzas. Now,
Put your handbrake on.
it's quiet. Now from here we can see right down into the valley. When I first saw it, the first thing I thought was, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Then I thought,
You doubted yourself.
I wonder if this, what I've been drinking's been spiked. I thought someone might have put something untoward in there, steridant or something.
It does happen. Steridant?
I could see all the lights flashing on
What colours were the lights?
pale, like grey lights, grey-blue lights.
Like you'd see in a
But
bathroom
it
at
wasn't
a hotel.
moving. And I stopped, and I thought, shall I get out? But I was looking at it all the time, and it wasn't moving. But then it did move, and it started to come towards me. So I thought, I'm going to have to do a quick thinking here. I remember this lay-by, but I thought, I bet the space aliens don't know about it.
They wouldn't know.
And I don't think they did,
No.
because they went past me, and I thought, I've lost them. But then, didn't realise that behind them was another space alien craft.
This gets from bad to worse.
And that came down in the field right next to me, probably about 60, 70 yards away, and about a dozen ref-sized aliens came out.
What do you mean ref-sized?
Like as big as a football
Oh,
referee.
Yes, I've heard of
Quite
those.
thin legs, paunchy,
Yeah.
pale faces.
With whistles. Did they have whistles?
No. But there were also sort of, two of them was coming in my direction, but the others were just sort of milling about, as if they were waiting for
Something to be on the telly.
programme or hot dog
Yeah.
or something.
What happened next?
I got inside a polytunnel because I thought maybe the
They might not have-
plastic sheet might, if they shone a torch at me, it might just reflect back and they wouldn't see me. So I got down in a polytunnel, and I
Was that adjacent to the bit of field behind the lay-by?
It was in the field.
It was in the field.
It's just as near the nursery, and I think they were growing tomatoes or something in there, or radishes, I think it was. Or was it tomatoes? I can't really. I don't know because it was dark, you see.
Yeah.
Strange what you forget.
It's strange what you
What
forget.
you remember.
Strange what you remember. I can
was-
remember things and other people say that definitely never happened.
Really?
I wonder if the car's having memories. The car's perhaps having memories itself.
I'm not sure.
No. Does it ever drive itself like a supernatural car?
No.
No. Wouldn't it be weird if it just set off and then it flew away?
Well, I wish it could, because I'd have got in it and I'd have
Chased them.
zipped off to New Zealand
So did the New Zealand?
for a fortnight.
Yeah. To escape the British winter?
Not to escape the space
Ah,
aliens.
space aliens, yes.
So anyway, they didn't seem to like it that I shouted at them.
Yeah. They took
A
note.
lot of people don't like it when I shout at them.
No. Do you have a loud
You
voice?
can ask my daughter-in-law about that one.
A bit weird.
She's always causing problems within our family.
Yeah, so you shout at her.
Well, I've had to do once because, it was a gravy boat had been in the family for almost 70, 75 years. And to just disregard it like that and throw it out.
We had an old spoon.
I was so scared.
Yeah.
And I thought, shall I shut my eyes? If I shut my eyes, it might go away. I shut my eyes, and I could just still hear them. And I opened my eyes, and they were even nearer. So
Not a good technique
not
then,
good
that
technique,
one.
that one.
Yeah.
And just for advice, if anyone does get followed by a space alien's craft, don't bother hiding in a polytunnel, because all he'll do is ruin somebody's tomatoes.
Yeah, or radishes.
Or radishes.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they were tomatoes. They were tomatoes because I had tomatoes all down my shirt.
Tim,
Does
where,
get very
Tim,
boggy.
Tim, where are you taking me?
I was going to show you where the spacecraft landed. Can you see?
What am I meant to be looking at?
Yeah, you can see that.
Where? What is that?
That's where it landed.
Tim, this is not what I
I
expected.
don't think I was exaggerating when I said it was as big as Anfield Stadium.
There is a huge area of blackness burnt into the ground. There's a slightly metallic scent to the air. It's
Probably magnets.
It's most unusual.
Magnetism
A magnet.
in the ground.
Yeah. Have you had
Sure, it's-
anybody up here with any kind of professional equipment?
My missus has been up with Hoover
to just pick up some metallic parts.
Yeah.
You know, from the
Have you sent these away to a local university for testing? And if so, what were you
no.
hoping to... Oh, you haven't.
I haven't, no.
Right.
Because the thing is that everything's obviously so burnt that any fragments that are in there, you can't really pick them up.
It's exceptionally odd.
So we went round with a battery vacuum cleaner. We've got one for a caravan, you see.
Yeah.
Very, very handy piece of kit.
Yes, I wish I had one.
Runs off a 12-volt car.
Mum won't let me use the Hoover on my own. She says I'll start sucking things with it I shouldn't.
Really?
I'll just like mess about, I'll just muck about, you know.
And we picked apart the contents of the Hoover bag one Sunday night, and some of the stuff that emerged from the contents of the vacuum cleaner bag.
Scary?
Were very unusual stuff.
What did you find?
Stuff that looked like tin foil, but you could crunch it up in your hand and it was silent, and then it would spring back to the shape it was before, which was also a scrunched up shape.
Could it have been used to wrap sandwiches in by the aliens themselves?
That's what I thought, because it wasn't a crash site.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when you try and wrap a pork pie in regular foil, and the shape becomes so distorted that it starts to rip. Perhaps what they've done is wrap some large irregularly shaped baked pies with that material.
Didn't see any evidence.
Because you can tie them up with string as well, which can help sometimes on a picnic.
No, I didn't see any evidence of pork pies.
Tim, have you been up here regularly? Because I noticed there's some cans and cigarettes. Was that the aliens?
That's not me.
That could have been the aliens then.
No, I don't think so. That's your Sky at Night watchers who've got wind of this.
Yeah.
I think actually what they really prefer to do is come up here and get a bit drunk. And they can see what they want, can't they?
I wouldn't want to be drunk up here.
No.
I think I'd feel very drunker than I am now.
I was a bit drunk the night that they abducted me.
Yeah.
I mean, I say it was abduction in a way. It was really, it was sort of my fault because, I shouted at them. Said,
but what do you remember of the abduction itself? And did they bring you back here? Were you brought back here after the abduction?
Yeah.
Did you have car keys still and all that?
The keys were foolishly, and I won't make this mistake again. Foolishly, the car keys were still in the car.
So they didn't want to nick car then? They weren't after car? They were after you?
No, they wanted me. And,
why were they after you, do you think? I mean, you'd got a successful job at the post office.
Well,
do you think they wanted some sort of knowledge about how our monetary and investment systems work? Did they purge your mind for this kind of thing?
If they did want to know about money and investments, they certainly didn't ask me about it.
Could it be that you're not actually recalling some of the events while you were on the spaceship? Do you think they may have muddled and scrambled your mind?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure.
So they could have done things to you, with you, for you that you can't remember. Yeah. Have you got any other abilities? Have you got any extra abilities after having this experience?
I've noticed I'm a lot better with planer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like stronger, or?
I'm just more accurate at seeing which end of the. Because we had a door frame, a very troublesome door frame.
At your house?
At our house, yeah. It's the front room that goes into the kitchen.
They get a lot of traffic. A door in front room. They get a lot of traffic.
We've got a serving hatch, so.
Oh, I love a serving hatch. I love it.
If I'm in the front room, and Denise is in the kitchenette, she can pass the meals through the serving hatch.
What sort of meals are your favourites to pass through?
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie. Do you do it individually on plates, or do you pass through the hatch the entire pie in its tray?
Yeah.
You contain bake the pie in the tray? Yeah.
No, the first one.
You plate up in the kitchen and then you individually...
Always, yeah. That's just how we do it. Never thought about doing it the other way.
It's more like a restaurant that way.
Yeah. But I'd noticed that the door was sticking, and Denise kept saying, you ought to get that door planed, and I was a bit apprehensive about it. Not very confident with the planer, even though it's a good planer.
An alien abduction could knock confidence with planing. I can see it. I can see it now.
Well, it did, and that's another big part of the mystery. other than that, other strange thing that's happened.
We've not finished the planing story. Obviously, you got the door off and you planed in. It was fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Superb job.
Yeah.
In fact, cousin of mine was a retired joiner.
What's her name? His name?
Alan.
Alan.
He said, "Oh, you've had a joiner to look at this." I say.
Ooh.
I said no.
That proud moment.
Did it myself.
I love stories like this. It's like when my uncle came over and he heard somebody playing the trumpet. And he came upstairs and he said, have you had a tape on? And I said, well, it was a tape, but I thought about saying no, it was me, but that would have been a lie.
So, you were playing a cassette of a trumpeter?
Yeah.
And
I wanted to say that it was me. I've just realised that story doesn't really work in the context of what now.
Anything to do with what I was on about. I think, if it's alright, I think we'll go back to the...
Yeah. Tim. Have you got any food in the car?
I've got a small tub of coleslaw.
Have you got a spoon or a fork or anything? I suppose you could just eat coleslaw with a hand, couldn't you?
You're not eating my coleslaw.
Could I have a bit?
I've had special instructions from...
Not from the aliens.
No. From Denise. Bring a small bowl of coleslaw back.
I could have listened to Tim Splashsleeve's Encounters of Alien Tales. Tales of Alien Encounters, all day. But I'd got to get to the community centre because I'd arranged to see Uncle Elliot and the French musicians he'd recruited to help with the community song. It was important to me. Really important. So important that I'd bribed the caretaker with a bottle of Stewart's Cream of the Barley and 100 quid to boot boiled egg painting off the rota so we'd have use of the big room. He took the money and the scotch, but I'll never forget the look on his sad caretaker's face. Never in Hobsick's history had the boiled egg painters been made to paint their boiled eggs in the slightly smaller other room. It was unheard of. I suddenly felt very stupid. There I was, hoping to bring the community together with some kind of ill-organised sing-along accompanied by a band that only existed in the pickled brains of a drunk, washed-up retired child actor, and already I'd offended the local artists. It was probably just because I was hungry, but I started to feel ever so trembly and nauseous. I broke into the community centre by punching my hat over the window pane. Then I realised I wasn't wearing a hat. I waddled to the kitchenette and wrapped my glass-embedded fist in aluminium foil to stop the bleeding. I went in the big room. No band. No rehearsal in progress. No chairs set out in rows in that optimistic way where you slightly stagger the positioning, so that in theory the people in the row behind should be able to see over the shoulders of the people in front. Uncle Elliot had let me down. But way more worser than that, I'd let Hobsick down. Big time. I left a 500-word apology written in blood on the floor for the boiled egg painters and crept to the toilets to be alone. The cardboard they put down around the heel of the lavatory where I'd slept earlier that day invited me for another 40 winks. And sleep arrived as swiftly and silently as a 7.65mm bullet fired from a silenced Walther PPK fired by Timothy Dalton in the living daylights.
Toilet? Bernard? Are you in the toilet?
Yes?
Bernard, what are you doing in there?
Hiding?
Hiding from what? Who?
Everyone.
Right.
Nobody's here. I wanted everybody to be here to do the song. Nobody was here, so I got sad and got down on the cardboard.
Well, nobody will be here because you were probably several hours too early. Well, they're all here now.
What do you mean everybody's here now?
Everybody's here now with the backing band and the lot.
What band?
The same band that I had for my performance in Dijon last night with the P-bass and the lot. They're all here.
Someone's got P-bass?
Come on.
But I can't get up and I'm wedged against the door.
It's gonna be alright.
What's the matter? Are you asleep on that cardboard again?
Yes.
The cardboard is for splashing, not for sleeping.
How are your bowels?
Managing,
right, come on, let's...
but what about what?
I can't do it from in here, can I?
I know, but what about Mum and Dad? Because Mum and Dad, I wanted them to help me and they wouldn't help me and they'd get like this and I hate them both.
Well, your mother's here, she's participating in the community song.
Okay, well, if you push the door, you'll be able to push me away from the door. Push, I'm sliding, push. You're gonna have to push harder than that. Don't
Let's
try
have
me,
fun,
don't touch me.
let's have
You're
fun.
crushing me. Help me up. Get me up.
Come on. I think we ought to open that window.
Paul, we practiced.
Come on, quickly, because everybody's waiting.
The nurse practiced this week. The nurse saw everybody stay on you. Did somebody mention 5Ps?
Turn right for love, turn left for loneliness. Look back to the past, look forward, that's the best. Live your life with no limits, wear your heart on your sleeve. Always follow your dreams, in each other we believe. Hold your head up high, and if we ever say goodbye, remember these words, how we sang them with a smile. There are moments in your life when you meet someone who's more than a friend. Life ain't easy, this we all know. Friendship, kinship, common unity, there's always some place to go. Hobsick, nobody knows where it is, but it means so much to me and you, and your friend's mum too. Everybody, Hobsick, nobody knows where it is, but it's on the map, right here, the place that we all share.
I've got me winkers on, bit of signal manoeuvre, indicating for your heart. Get your paws off me, altar.
Some of the things I like about this place: convenience and folklore.
When space aliens took me away, I thought, why are they taking me away? Until this very day, I don't know why they took me away.
I like how people's priority is their sociability, they're sociable, approachable.
I feel privileged to be here over the moon, to have you near, all of my friends. If none of you turned up, I'd have been absolutely gutted.
I hope that everybody will enjoy today. After we've had the sing-along, you're welcome to stay for the pie and peas supper and a bit of bread and butter, a bit of coffee or a cup of tea.
I would like to say, because I've been given the opportunity to say today, how I feel about this very special place.
Everybody,
Hobsick, nobody knows where it is, but it means so much to me and you, and your friends mine too. Hobsick, nobody knows where it is, but it's on the map, right here, a place that we all share.
It was a fun evening. It really was, and to top it off, I was relieved to hear that the boiled egg painting group hadn't been in the least bit offended by my sly scheme of rotadiddling with the caretaker regarding prioritised use of the big room. The egg painters had gone on a field trip to a hatchery, And the caretaker I bribed with cash and Stuart's cream of the barley wasn't a caretaker at all, he was a burglar. His attempts to pinch the new PA system became seriously undermined when he slipped on the congealing pools of my apology-themed blood and shattered his pelvis. Just shows how fate can turn even an unrequired apology into something 100% worthwhile. It's very easy for that to be the end. It's very easy to end at a point when everyone's together. But it's all about the reflection upon bringing people together. That's where I started. I've been on a journey that I, to be honest, for most of it didn't want to be on. But not for reasons that a lot of you would think. Not for reasons that I didn't want to meet the people of Hobsick or talk to them, but I mean for reasons that the more I did speak to them, the more it revealed about me, about why I am here. And that was the point. And everybody came together. Even when I was not in a good headspace, they were there. And even Uncle Elliot came through at the end. And you know what, he always does. And that's all you can ask for, anybody, from who you are, where you live and the people you live with. Hobsick. Nobody knows where it is, but it's in our hearts. It's us. It's the place that makes us who we make what Hobsick makes the people who make this village what it means to the folks who they are because they live here. And it's as simple as that. See ya. Diddly-diddy, diddly-diddy, diddly-diddy.